What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to Maps Exposed. This is the series where I cover all of the lines of sight, as well as any other sort of secret spots and common spawn locations on every map in Modern Warfare. In today's episode, as requested by you guys, we're moving on to Rammaza. Now I'll be the first to admit, there aren't really that many spots that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today, just because this map doesn't really leave much room for imagination. It seems complex, but it's actually pretty basic. But the first spot I have for you guys is over by the Domination Flag. If you come up on this box and you strafe over this way, that gives you a little bit of a better line of sight on the people in that area right there, rather than standing out in the open and exposing your whole body. Next up, just in case you guys weren't aware, because I know there are some people that still aren't aware, one way to get all the way up to the top of the construction area here is using the ladder. This is the one that most people will use and most people expect. What a lot of people didn't know is you can also access that by coming up through this area right here and jumping on the scaffolds to get up in this area. There isn't much reason to be up in this area in most situations because you don't get a nice line of sight on the rest of the map or anything, but I just wanted to point out you can get up there. Now, great line of sight I have for you guys. This one's super practical for challenging the people that are in that area right there. Instead of standing right here, which is pretty much right where they expect you to be, and this is basically a 50-50 gunfight, you can come all the way back to this area right here, hop up on this little ledge, and there you go. That does give you a bit of a line of sight in towards that area, and you might be able to pick those people off. Now, over in this area here, there's actually a little bit of an invisible ledge right there, so you can actually jump onto that ledge from this area here. It is a bit risky. You could take a lot of fall damage or potentially die from fall damage from this if you miss it, but if you hit it, you do get a great line of sight. Let's just see if I can hit it on the first jump. There we go. And now we're up here, and from here, you get a great line of sight to that area right there, anywhere over top of this way, almost into the A building, but if you strafe too far over, of course, you will fall, and I didn't quite die there, but sometimes you will actually fall to your death from that height. Next up, getting into this campy room right here. This is a really common spot. This is more so something to just look out for. People can jump up on the chair here and get a bit of a line of sight in this area. They don't have much control over what they can see, though. You're basically just tied down as to what you're standing on at that given moment. So it's not a very precise spot, and I wouldn't recommend sitting here for very long because it really only gets a line of sight on the people that come through this area right here and a little bit over in this area, but it's kind of hard because you'll just fall off the chair. In any case, though, if you know somebody's up there and they're camping up there, you can just spray right through that wood really easily and you can pick them off, and they'll usually not expect that. Now, getting into the mid-map area here, oftentimes you'll have enemies that are set up in that window. Great way to challenge them from down low is to simply shoot through the floor here, and you can actually shoot through there without losing much bullet damage at all, and you can pick those people off quite easily. Getting over to this side of the map, oftentimes you get enemies up in that window and they might pin you down behind this piece of cover. You've got a couple great options to challenge them. The first one is simply to look through this crack right here. They don't typically expect that. Or you could also mantle on top of the hood. If you crouch, you're completely hidden, stand up, and there you go. Great line of sight to the window. Now, another thing that the enemies don't often expect, if they're in that general area over there, you can jump across right here, and then there's actually a little bit of a ledge that you can go on to peek around this corner, and they never expect to be looking this way around the corner, so you can often pick them off. If you strafe too far over, though, you will fall off of that ledge. And with that, unfortunately, that's all I have for you guys on the map Rammaza. Like I said, there just isn't really much left to the imagination when it comes to this map. But now let's move into the most common spawn locations that you'll tend to see in Domination, but these do of course apply to other game modes as well. I just decided to focus mainly on Domination with this series. So first off, having a look at the primary spawns, these are the ones that you'll tend to see most of the time. We've got 3 primary spawns on each side of the map. 2 of them are bundled up right next to the Domination Flag, and then there's one kind of off between C and B. And then for the Domination Flag, most of the time you'll just spawn directly behind the Domination Flag, but sometimes you'll also get that primary spawn on the left side of the map if you're coming from the Dom Flag. As for secondary spawns, I didn't really see any that I would classify as secondary. There are lots of other spawn points that you can use on this map, but all of them seem to be kind of equally probable, so I didn't classify any as secondary spawns. We just have these other spawn locations here that are kind of spread all over the map. So it is a good idea to remember where those spawn points are, because enemies can be spawning pretty much anywhere, it seems, when they're not spawning in those primary spawn locations. But with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Maps Exposed on Rammaza. I believe we've now covered all of the 6v6 maps within Modern Warfare, so I guess it's time to move into the 10v10 maps. Let me know in the comment section below, which one of the maps would you like me to cover next for this series, and if you guys have missed any of the previous episodes, I will leave a link to the playlist down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.